That was Gabby Luma reporting for us this morning. Hopefully warmer weather is ahead and that sick season will be behind us. Storm Team 44 meteorologist Gunnar Consul is tracking the weather. Gunnar, Groundhog Day is Monday. What are you thinking? Early spring?
Well, based on what it looks like for Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, it looks like we may be tracking conditions that will not allow a shadow, which, if you're familiar with the groundhog lore, would mean an early spring. And I'll be talking about that in just a second. But right now in the tri-state, it's certainly feeling a little bit more spring-like. You know, we got some awfully dreadful conditions. I mean, just looking at our downtown camera, you can see exactly the kind of conditions we're tracking with that dense fog advisory. It's not saying the entire tri-state has a layer of fog over it, but we're going to be seeing isolated and patchy dense fog. Perfect example, if you're in downtown Evansville or if you're on the Evansville east side, but you're driving down the Lloyd, you are just going to be chugging along until you hit basically St. Joseph Avenue, and then boom, you're going to be enshrouded in fog, and you're going to be pretty much dealing with that as you head towards the west. If you're driving towards the east, not as much fog because we're not seeing that dense fog advisory anywhere except for these dark gray counties. So yeah, Vanderburgh County isn't in that dense fog advisory, but we do border two counties that are in one. So certainly foggy conditions, not just not out of the question, but we have evidence that, you know, we are still seeing the fog. So everyone near those counties, as well as in those counties, need to watch out for some of that patchy fog. That advisory expires at 8 a.m. today, so not too much longer. And then from the remnants of our rain last night, we have a river flood warning out towards Ohio County along the Green River for Paradise. Minor flooding expected, and that'll last until Tuesday evening. Now, our afternoon conditions are going to be clearing. They're going to be mild. They may not be as enjoyable as we may like just due to some breezy conditions out of the west. And then our winds shift out of the north, and that's going to bring our temperatures down to those upper 30s. Now, Groundhog Day is in just 2 days. I think Groundhog Day is one of the most underrated holidays of the year because it is a fun holiday and it's fun to dive into things. And this weekend, one day will feel like winter, one day will feel like spring. But just because it feels like spring in Evansville doesn't mean our little friend out in Pennsylvania will see his shadow or not. So the forecast, Claire, for Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania is cloudy with the chance of flurries, so we're not expecting a shadow. And a shadow could mean an early spring for us here in the tri-state. And I know after the month of January, how frigid it's been, I think a lot of people would appreciate warmer conditions sooner rather than later. And it looks like we could even be getting close to 70 degrees on Monday, if you'll believe that. But as I should always warn you, this time of the year in January, February, if it's warm, we're usually going to be dealing with rain chances or storm chances not too far off in the distant future.